Good morning again, folks. It is still the 17th day of July, 2021. I am still Scott. That is still Bo in his doggy bed, and that is still my co-pilot, Cricket. I'm still feeling slightly better than I was yesterday. I've already done one video talking about bullshit fucking propaganda out of the sun to undermine confidence in the negative test results people have in COVID-19 in the United Kingdom. This video is going to be about Haiti. And something that I said yesterday in a video talking about this. Yesterday I did a video talking about showing you how the chief of police was directly asked by somebody from CNN about the existence of CCTV footage. Apparently there are CCTV footage cameras all over the interior of the home President Moise resided in and where he was killed, where he was assassinated. That footage will show you exactly what happened. And as the CNN reporter said, it'll answer a whole lot of questions. Questions about whether these 26 or 28 people made it into the residence. And which of them actually shot the president? It'll answer a lot of questions. And of course, he was told in the press conference by the fucking chief of police and Haiti's chief of police that he's not allowed to show you and release the fucking videos until the investigators say it's okay. And of course, my response was the following. He's a guy who's teamed up with Biden and is asking Biden to send in American troops to Claude Joseph.
make sure he can stay in power. He's stopping him from seeing the closed circuit television footage. But so are the other investigators, the ones from Colombia and the ones from the United States and the, of course, glorious FBI. And of course, the glorious FBI. Now, that's what I said yesterday. Today, well, yesterday evening, we had some new developments in this case. These are FBI agents and others leaving President Moise's home, and they're carrying with them, and they're taking something with them. See, FBI officers leave the home. The back of his fucking backpack has FBI written on it. So there's no question, this is the FBI. Now, this is very interesting. You have to watch this. Investigators removed at least one computer and several boxes. And here we go. That. Now, I hope that this hasn't got all glitchy on us. So I'm going to leave this up for a few seconds here so you can see it if it has gotten all glitchy on us. He is not holding a laptop. This is one of those Apple fucking computers. See the fucking wide stand? How deep it is in the middle? This is one of those Apple computers. The whole thing is built into one fucking piece, and that's the monitor. That's President Moise's fucking computer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the fucking CCTV footage is stored. And they are stealing it. Notice they use Hilux fucking trucks as well, just like the terrorists we hire in other countries. That
is all the evidence you need to tell you exactly who killed the president of another country. And they're making off with it like thieves in the fucking night. Masked thieves in the fucking night. Here, boxes. Boxes here. These are the boxes. If you want to know what the boxes are, and the significance of these several boxes, the boxes are the cameras. They can't leave cameras up all over the fucking private residence, and then have people come in after they leave with the footage, with the computer, saying, "Look, this camera right here, that there's blood here, so we can see. So somebody was hurt, so we can see exactly who did that." They can't have that, so they took the cameras. More boxes in the back of the truck, by the way. Here they go. Check these guys out. Law enforcement. Wearing black ski masks. Law enforcement. Because they're so goddamn proud of the job they're doing. Criminals. Knowing full well what they're fucking making off with. Criminals. Hiding their fucking identities as they make off with the evidence of the fucking murder of a president of another country. They're all wearing masks too. And this one, it's got camo on the fucking on the glass. Off they go. Criminals, each and every goddamn one of them. And in the lead, the white guys from fucking Federal Bureau of Investigation. The most criminal, maybe aside from CIA, the most criminal fucking organization in this country, at least. There they go. I told you this was going to happen yesterday. I told you that's what they were doing. That's why they're making off with the goddamn thing. That's what they do. Watch that fucking documentary on the investigation of the flight of Flight 800, the downing of Flight 800. It's amazing. FBI had no business in that whatsoever. Supposedly, until the NTSB tells them otherwise, it is considered an accident and a mechanical issue, and the NTSB has complete jurisdiction, absolute jurisdiction. But the FBI immediately inserted themselves into it because it was shot down accidentally by a fucking cruise missile fired from one of our goddamn ships. And 100 plus witnesses saw that. So the FBI immediately did two things. One, they started interviewing the witnesses, telling them what they did and did not see. And the witnesses said that. And two, they immediately landed like a pack of fucking vultures on the actual physical evidence that the NTSB was in the process of fucking reconstructing in a hangar, and started making off with key pieces of evidence. Running off with it. And I'm telling you that because it was reported by the head of the NTSB fucking action that was investigating what happened. They couldn't fucking believe it. The FBI had cordoned off their fucking investigation, told them they didn't have access to it until they fucking finished what they were doing, their quote-unquote investigation, and all they were doing was taking shit that could have been used and proved the initial explosion took place outside the fucking plane, which is exactly what a cruise missile does, a surface-to-air missile does, taking out a plane. No question. That's what the FBI does. In this case, that's what the FBI. Oh, that, and they groom homeless people, idiots, half-wits, people who are severely fucking, in some cases, severely mentally handicapped. And they groom them with informants, criminals, to plot fucking terrorist acts, and then they come in there, arrest them. And those people have spent the rest of their lives in prison for something they didn't do, something they couldn't possibly have done on their own, were it not for the informants and the FBI grooming them, providing them these ideas, providing them with the plans, and providing them with the fake bombs or whatever the fuck they had. Entrapment. Again, don't look at me for saying this. This was something that was actually covered on Fox by Judge Napolitano, whatever his fucking name was. They have a long history of doing this. The glorious FBI. They have a long history of doing this. There's a case that just happened. Woman was kidnapped because she was on Tinder. She was held against her will for 3 days. Some dude fucking had her basically chained up, locked up, wasn't allowing her to use a bathroom, wasn't allowing her to eat, was repeatedly fucking raping her. She goes to the fucking police. They fucking arrest him, but then prosecution fails to bring charges against him after 72 hours, so they had to release him. And now the prosecution says they're not sure they're going to fucking bring charges against him. I promise you this. He had a long history with law enforcement. I promise you this. He is somebody's goddamn informant. It's been proven time and time again that the FBI uses these informants, and they basically give them carte blanche to commit whatever the fuck crime they want, including kidnapping a woman and repeatedly raping her. They give them carte blanche. As long as they're in the process of doing something for them, they can pretty much get away with anything. And they pay them 3 or 4 times what an average, the median income of in the United States is. They give them shit tons of money and allow them to do shit like this. I guarantee you. I promise you're going to find out that's something. He's had a history with law enforcement and has been an informant before. Guaranteed. Anyway, back to this. Off they go. Now, the story. The story is they still have no. The Florida-based company that is fucking. They say is in the middle of this, the one that supposedly hired the hit team, the hit squad that had the busted up fucking guns. They had 9 guns and 18 fucking people. That's a hit squad. Bullshit fucking guns. Apparently the company's next to bankrupt. They got no goddamn money. There's no way they were capable of doing this shit. The Washington Post is trying to fix some of the fucking narrative surrounding Christian Sonnen, Dr. Christian Sonnen. They're trying to fix the narrative. They're saying he held some kind of summit in Florida, trying to get backers to put up, they say $86 billion. And his plan was they would safely remove Moise from presidency, and then he would take over as president, and he would then, since they were backing him, repay them through Haitian contracts. Possible. But interestingly enough, they had to admit there was some $860,000 supposedly, according to the Washington Post here, that was paid to him to pay for weapons and body armor. No body armor. by the way, the weapons were all broke-ass pieces of shit. You could have probably bought all of them on that fucking table for $500. Every single one of them. $860,000 they claim was paid to him. Here you go. A separate document obtained by the Post lays out proposed loans totaling more than $860,000. Turns out none of that money was paid. There was one individual who said that the document obtained by the Post showing what $865,000 in loan was just a funding request. I'm not saying none of these amounts were paid, but it includes hundreds of thousands of dollars that were not provided. How many hundreds of thousands of dollars? I'd say 860. Hundreds of thousands of dollars that were never fucking paid. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. He put together a couple bullshit fucking companies, and they came in there and they said, okay, well, listen to what he has to say, because, and he said we could do this plan, which of course it wasn't really a plan, and if we could replace him, then we could make Haiti into a profitable, open country. And so that, of course, means that's the motive. That's not the motive. Here's the fucking motive. The motive is when he went to Turkey in June of this year, June 17th, it was part of a form of diplomacy in the seaside resort, which is in South Turkey, which was in particular the opportunity for the President Moise and Erdogan to pass and review the bilateral cooperation between the two countries and discuss several subjects, among others, the strengthening of bilateral relations such as security, energy, and the economy. That's part. The other part is this. 500,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccine were sent immediately. Here's a nice picture of them. All these photo ops, this 19-foot tall, whoever the fuck that is. But here you go. The initial batch of vaccines came after the July 7th assassination of President Jovenel Moise by an armed hit squad. There's another part of the motive. The motive is not hard. That's Voice of America, too. The motive is not hard to figure out. The motive is obvious. They had big plans. Moise got in the way of those plans, whatever they were, and was threatening to get more in the way. They couldn't have that. They couldn't have that. Turkey held this big thing, and it wasn't just Haiti that was there. There were other representatives from other countries, 10 leaders of other countries, and then about 40 other, basically Secretary of State type positions from impoverished countries in Africa, Latin America, all across the world, trying to create a kind of a coalition of well, it's like the non-aligned nations movement, a coalition of impoverished countries that could work together and bring themselves together out of poverty, but also keep themselves from being targeted by countries like the United States. That's what he was doing. That couldn't be allowed. Anyway, I thank you for your time. I got to go before it's 20 minutes. Otherwise, I won't be able to upload this to BitChute. Have a good one, guys. Look at that fucking video. There you go. The glorious FBI doing justice, bringing democracy to other countries. Thank you.